Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to talk about DeepSeek R1, which was released just earlier today when I'm recording this, probably a few days when you get to see this. It is a brand new model that is supposed to function like O1 at a fraction of the cost, at about a 15th, a 20th of the cost, and it seems to work a little bit faster as well. Now, if the name DeepSeek is new to you, it really just came into vogue in the last month or so when DeepSeek V3 came out. This was a model that was trained in China for $6 million, and it performs close to GPT-4 in a lot of benchmarks. Again, a fraction of the cost. It's open source, so lots of good things going for it. I thought that might be the end, but very quickly they released DeepSeek R1, which, their claim is performance on par with OpenAI O1, and you can see some of the benchmarking where it is competitive. Now, just very quickly, when I've used it as a chatbot, it was very good. I don't know if I would say it's on par with O1. It makes some silly mistakes, I think. It does loop on itself. It does kind of misunderstand some of the errors and cycles back to the same kind of conclusions over and over. But regardless, it is still much, much, much cheaper. And for the most part, it works very closely to O1 and Claude 3.5. So you get that kind of disparity in that it runs very well usually, and then it runs into silly errors that Claude 3.5 and O1 generally don't. So I think it might be good for like the first shot until you run into errors, and then you switch over to O1 or Claude 3.5 for troubleshooting. Not that either of those models are amazing at that. But what I wanted to do very quickly is just to show you guys how this would work. Can you create a sample chatbot that uses the DeepSeek API? Make it a single page web app. And what you want to do is click this Deep Think button, and then you will get access to their R1 thinking model. And you click, and you're going to see what I really like about this is that its thinking is all said out loud. And not only that, it's very readable. So let's just go through this. Okay, the user wants a sample chatbot using the DeepSeek API, blah, blah, blah. First, I need to structure the HTML. Next, the CSS. The chat container should have a fixed size with scrolling. Just all the way through, it's very readable. It's very human in how it describes its thoughts. And then finally, you get a simple chatbot. And then I can go, please use Bootstrap to format this and add animations to make it more interactive. Just how it is working makes it feel faster. The fact that it's thinking out loud makes me see kind of what's happening rather than just a scrolling bar for, I think it was 9 seconds for this first one. Thought for 9 seconds, and this next one for 17 seconds. It's a long time to stare at a loading bar if you're just waiting for an answer. And so it's still writing, but I feel like it's reasonably fast. So, very worthwhile to try it out, but what I wanted to do is take it to the next level and try something else paired with it. As regular viewers of my channel will know, I've been using Claude 3.5 on the side as a support bot. It's been a while since I've used an AI agent to actually create something. And what I've heard online is that DeepSeek R1 paired with Cline or another AI agent is absolutely amazing. So what I have as a project is a simple web page, and what I wanted to do is to play out and simulate game theory. And I think I'll link to this Veritasium video describing what it is. But in short, game theory is all about whether two competing people want to cooperate or they don't cooperate, and the various strategies around it. Now, the most famous game theory problem is the prisoner's dilemma, in which the maximum payout is when both parties cooperate. Everybody wins and society as a whole is good. But if one party doesn't cooperate and the other party cooperates, then the individual reward for the party that doesn't cooperate is higher than it would have if they both cooperated. Long story short, society would be best off if everybody works together, but there is a huge incentive for me to slack off and to take advantage of someone else. I would individually be better, but society as a whole would be worse off. And then the worst situation is both sides slacking off, where the payoff is very low. And so there's a whole branch of economics called game theory, where you test different strategies. And I had kind of a theory that I wanted to test, but what I need is some visualization. So let's take a look at what DeepSeek has done. Very good. Seems to look all right. It also has the whole document ready. I have not tried this button before, but that's very helpful, where we can run the HTML, and then it describes what changes have been made. Okay, so that's one way of using it, and that's really where I've been staying with. The next way you can use these AI chatbots is to use it with Cline, this AI agent. Now, when you use Cline, you can change the settings, and for me, I've used OpenRouter and chosen DeepSeek R1. DeepSeek has its own tab as well, so you can use their own API. But for now, I want to use OpenRouter. Done. And then over here, let's just change it so that it can read files. And let's leave it at that. Can you create a single page web page that will demonstrate game theory matchups between different strategies, like always cooperate or never? I want you to use JS packages, script imports, only to animate these games. I want the user to be able to control or customize the number of games and the payout. Please make it look nice. Okay, if that made no sense to you, what I've asked it to do is create a web page to simulate these matchups. What I want to be able to adjust is how many games there are. So if there's only one game, one instance where I can cooperate or don't cooperate, it ends there. But in multiple repeated games, that's when things get interesting. If I don't cooperate, will you retaliate, or will you continue to cooperate, hoping that I'll do something good? Hard to say. The other thing is just how badly off is the world if both sides don't cooperate or both sides cooperate. How much is the overall payoffs? So I'm looking here and just watching it create this text, but I see, aha, okay. Let's save. Let's copy the path and come back here and take a look. So let's do tit for tat and a random, and these are the payoffs. So let's run and see what happens. Not working. Okay. Oh. What is happening here? I ran into this error. Very interesting. It did not run. Ah, I see. We still needed a separate file, so it kept all the JavaScript elsewhere. And we should have seen this. Run simulation is not defined. Oh. Aha. So here's the simulation.js. We'll save. And I'm being very impatient because things are still running, but let's refresh and see what happens. This looks better already. So in both cases, always cooperate. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, that is a bit boring. Let's go for 2 random strategies and run it through. Did we really just get the same one? Always cooperate, always cooperate. Oh. Yeah. Let's go with always defect and always cooperate. And I don't think this is right. Okay, I am gonna stop doing this in real time for now, and we'll come back shortly. All right, this is much better. So if I refresh here, I can choose 2 random strategies, and you can see how player A and player B actually do. I see that they are changing along the way, which is actually quite great. And I think this is one of the things I wanted to test. But if we switch to always defect, everyone just gets 1 all the way through. If this player A always cooperates, player B always defects, player B is going to be better off. So we're going to see the green line go way, way, way higher compared to the blue line, which gets nothing. So I think it has been successful. Now, there's 2 things I've noticed. First of all, it wasn't really good with the diff edit, so it ran it 3 times trying to edit things within the document. So I suspect Cline hasn't been well adapted for DeepSeek, which is fine because ultimately it decided to just write the whole file from scratch. What really drew my attention is that the API cost for all of this was 8 cents. If I used O1 Mini, I'm almost certain it would be at least, well, maybe not $1, but probably close to $1 at like 75, 80 cents at this point. I did double check the price. It's about 30 times cheaper. So I have a lot of incentives to be a bit to use DeepSeek over O1 just because of the cost. I'm willing to use it. It's one of the reasons I didn't use Cline because I racked up the pricing so quickly. So if you want, you should consider using DeepSeek R1. This seemed to work pretty well, and I actually think I'll keep using the chat because I really enjoy this thought process. Um, you know that I am a big fan of Claude 3.5. I think I will still be using Claude 3.5 Sonnet for all my coding for the most part, but DeepSeek seems to be an interesting choice just because it's very cheap. So I'm more inclined in general just to try it out, use it as a first shot, and then have Claude 3.5 be a fix. And who knows, I might try another couple videos using Cline to create things because that was very, very handy. All right, I will see you next week with another project. Bye.